Let it go today, having a day off, and you guys came in pretty good.
Yeah, we had a good practice. Went over a lot of stuff. A lot of things you have to tighten the screws on a number of your parts of your program this time of the year. Things just naturally slip a little bit, and as soon as you tell the guys, they know exactly what you're talking about. So it was one of those days where we did a lot of review, tons of shots, got up and down a little bit, no contact, but we were able to get a lot of stuff done. Yeah, he's just getting up shots.
I'm curious in terms of this. Watch games with you and Chris communicate.
Yeah.
What's the general topic of discussion? What's the general topic?
It's usually just what he sees, what I see, and then we're just kind of evaluating our package to try to, take advantage of that. It could be the angles of a screen. It could be, what they're doing on defense. It could be, a counter to a play we just ran, or, like, coach, like, I'm ready to take him out, and he's like, coach, give me 2 more minutes, that kind of thing. It's just a number of things that you talk about with a guy of his caliber that you probably can't talk about with a younger point guard, because it's a lot more on their plate and they're trying to sift through 1 or 2 things. With Chris, it's a totally different conversation, but a number of things that could be on the docket at that point in time. And usually he'll come to me with something, I'm like, run with it, that kind of thing. Because I always feel like when players come to you with something, they've thought through it, I'm like, go ahead, take ownership of it. And I just tell them to do it, that kind of thing. So conversations are really cool, but there's a lot that we talk about.
Being able to throw Torrey out there with any group of guys.
Yeah.
What did you see from him as far as it felt like he got a lot of slip screens with Alfred Payton? That's a guy he hasn't played for. What did you see from his ability to just kind of read that situation?
Yeah, I mean, just his ability to set the screens at the proper angle, and then being able to, get out of that screen and catch it and make a play. With a defender coming, whatever the case may be. But I think for him, and the coaches told me today, like he realized that was the way that Mikal was scoring. So when he was in Indiana, he saw us running that play, and a lot of teams run it. And so I think he thought to himself, like, that's a place where I can be effective also. But Torrey's just a guy that has played some 3, some 4, and in some settings 5. And so screening is not something that's out of his wheelhouse.
What did you think of Aaron Holiday? I know it's only been a couple of days.
Yeah.
Just based on that game.
I mean, it was just one game, but, just looking at his body of work since he's been in the league, he's a guy that can guard the ball, he can move his feet, but he's not afraid to shoot. He's not afraid to score. I thought he made a really nice touch pass lob to Biz. Biz just kind of mishandled it. But the fact that he could make that play off the dribble under a little bit of duress was a really good sign, because we're a team that throws lobs from time to time. So I didn't see him out there thinking. That was a cool thing. Sometimes when you step out there and you don't know what's going on, thinking kind of slows you down. I didn't see that. He was just out there playing. The guys on the sidelines were talking to him, trying to help him out, but he just played. So that was a really good sign.
Monty, he really likes that floater. And in the age of threes and shots at the rim, is that sort of a lost art these days, that floater that Aaron has?
Yeah, it very well could be. I mean, I don't think many teams are allowing or teaching guys to shoot twos like that anymore, but I think you enforce or encourage shots that guys are confident shooting. That's a shot that he feels like he can make. I want him to shoot it.
Oh, sorry about that. I thought you were, so the masks are tough sometimes.
Nah,
Coach, with Cam and Landry out, was this one of those days for Aaron where you were able to integrate him a little bit more?
yeah, he was out there with the second group a ton today. And, you know, we don't know what the rotation is going to be going forward, but the way he defends, the way he scores the ball, and his confidence level, I wouldn't look at him as a third level guy at all. He very well could be in the rotation just because of his ability to handle the ball, defend, and he's not afraid. And the more ball handlers you can have on the floor, the more toughness you can have on the floor, the better. And so he did a lot with the second group today, and we threw a lot at him. It's pretty cool to look at his face when you hit him with a few of the calls that we have. But the cool part about our team, everybody on the sideline, everybody on the floor was chiming in, helping him out. And so I think he'll be a quick study once he figures out that some of the stuff we do is similar to other teams.
I was curious with the lack of practicing this year. I know a lot of that is for rest, but is it made easier by the fact that this is a group that handles shoot around so well and like the things that can integrate there?
I think so. I think it helps having as many veterans as we have. Last year we had a bunch, now we have even more. And, you know, those guys understand that when we do step on the floor and we have a shoot around or we walk through stuff, it's really important. It's not something you just goof around with and move on to the next thing. I think the veterans we have understand that we're not going to, you know, get after it 5-on-5 or break a, you know, big time sweat, but we can get a mental workout that can help us and try to take advantage of the lack of practice time.
Is it a relief for you though, as a coach, when you do get like 2 days off like this, where you can't say, I'm tightening the screw that we've needed for a while, we can put it here?
I don't think I ever feel relief. I need an app for that or a pill. But it certainly is nice. I mean, we haven't had it. You know, we've had these long stretches this year where it's game off, game off. That's hard, man. I don't, as I've told you before, you know, load management is a trucking company in Texas because I don't understand how the schedule resembles load management. It's when you play that many games back to back and playing every other day. So when you get 2 days off, man, you want to take advantage of it. Yeah, we're trying to figure out if he's going to have vegan lemonade. Somebody brought that up today. I thought that was pretty funny. We'll see. It's turned into a pretty cool thing. So I'm not quite sure where it's going to be, but I'm sure there's going to be more people than you think are going to stop by for lemonade from Cam. He's so doggone smart. He's got to figure out like the codes and how far he can be away from the street and all that stuff. Like he's a knucklehead when it comes to stuff like that. It's pretty cool that they've graduated this bet into it's like its own show now. So they're funny.
Monty, you talked last Thursday and pretty good round about you're dealing with men away from the sport. But what is it like? Essentially, what Helen's saying about your life away from the sport. Now that Valentine's Day and being a husband and having girlfriends and players and such. Have these long stretches of time away from home, but still trying to be a husband and being what's it like? That's trying to maintain a relationship while being in the NBA.
You asking me? Holy smokes! I mean, for me, it's basketball is my job and it's what I get to do, but it's certainly not the most important thing I do. The most important thing I do is lead my family, and in doing that, I'm always trying to improve as a husband and as a father. And, for me, it's just time. When I'm home, I try to be home. My family gives up a lot. They sacrifice a ton for me to do what I do. And so whether it's Valentine's Day or Thanksgiving or Christmas or any time at home, I try my best to be present, whether that's outside with my boys, shooting hoops, throwing a football, or having Bible devos before we all go to bed. It's in an effort to try to be an adequate father and husband, which I think, I'm probably nowhere near as good as I might think I might be. But that's my goal, is to, even on the days where I score poorly, I always want my kids and my wife to know that I was at least there and present and cared and had great intentions. And so on days like Valentine's Day or Easter or Christmas, I think my presence and the intention of my heart is probably what I want them to see.
Anything you got to do to keep that relationship fresh with the wife?
Look here, brother. What has this turned into? I ain't going into all that. You guys will have me on one of these platforms or something. I'm not that good to be giving that kind of advice. I've learned how to say yes, dear. That's it. Whatever you want, honey. That's it. That's my advice.
No second side breaks out there.